Welcome to Geeky Chickies. My name is Phoenix,
And I'm Jenny.
and today we will be talking about the Harry Potter franchise, or I guess it's now the Wizarding World franchise.
No, it's still Harry
Uh,
Potter, I think, from what I understand. Like, it's just their websites now, Wizarding World.
but their stuff isn't following Harry Potter anymore, so that's why I think it's Wizarding World. Anyway, point being,
hmm
Jenny, what did you do with your month?
That's actually a good question. Like, it's just been a whirlwind between, like, job hunting and then school and then just, like, working on projects in general. Like, I can't even remember what I did the last couple weeks, but I can tell you what I've been doing. I've been working on for the last week, which is playing around with a program called Hatch, which does which makes embroidery files, and I've been playing around with it because they gave me a 30-day free trial because
Mm,
that software is expensive as well, very expensive, and basically they want to make sure that you have like basically I'm glad they gave me the 30-day um trial just so that way I can determine whether I can commit to that or not, because I have a sewing machine that does embroidery as well, and I do like the embroidery stuff. It's just, like, I want to make my own patterns or my own files, so you know I've been playing with that mostly and just going back into sewing a bit and making my own patterns. And yeah, how about you? What have you been doing since we last recorded?
I've been watching a lot of Critical Role. I've been watching Camp 3 mostly because it's the newest one. I don't want it's gonna take me forever and a half to watch. And then I don't really want to watch the first because now they're doing the animated show based on it. And there's just a lot of issues with the first campaign for Critical Role that it's like I don't think I would enjoy it as much now that, and by the second campaign they hashed out all those issues. So
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
I'm also really excited because Fire Emblem Heroes, Warriors, whatever, Three Hopes is coming out next month. So
I think you mentioned it to me like a while ago.
I'm surprised I haven't talked about it nonstop because I'm like so excited. They came out with like the reveal for the characters of for people who actually know what the game, for the Blue Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Um and their new designs, and most of them are pretty good. Except for Sylvain. Sylvain looks like he's some kind of like Naruto character now. It's weird. But the others are pretty good. Ash is good boy I will protect with my life.
Mm-hmm. I should look them up because now I'm curious what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're still missing the designs for the other three houses, but hopefully they will come around sooner or later.
I guess we can jump into our topic, which is about the Harry Potter franchise. Which,
Yes.
before we begin, though, the story, like, basically, if you don't know about what Harry Potter is, it's about a boy named Harry that, you know,
Name Harry Potter.
yeah, Harry Potter, who, you know, lived with his aunt and uncle, and one day he finds out he's a wizard, and basically it's
Was a very
the entire series is
great
basically him going through school and, in the wizarding world. I know it sounds weird, kind of
the
giving
entire series.
a vague plot about it, but not everyone actually knows about Harry Potter. It's actually
I
kind
would
of
I wouldn't say the entire series. I would say like the first 6 books for him in school, and the last one is
Well, I know, but I mean, I guess I'm just one of those that's just like, you should probably read the series if you're really, really interested.
it's a good series. Like I mean, there's obviously it has its issues, but it's
Yeah,
still like it's a good series.
yeah. So the series is written by author J.K. Rowling, which, if you're on Twitter or, or somewhere on the internet and you heard about her and her more recent Viewpoints. I'm going to say this right now. We will not be discussing that. That will be like at another time.
Yeah.
We are 100% focusing on the franchise itself. If you guys want us to talk about specifically about her, and I guess let us know in the comments below. Just, if you're interested in hearing, uh, us talking about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
let us begin. When did you first hear about Harry Potter?
I want to say I was in like the second or third grade. Hang on. I gotta see when Harry Potter like came out. Because
Okay.
now I'm questioning myself.
Okay, no worries. I guess I'll answer it while you're looking it up. For me, I was actually about 11 when I heard about Harry Potter. I saw it like in my school library and like had friends and like my sister talk about it, but I wasn't really into reading at the time. And then I just finally picked up the book because like I was just like, okay, fine, let me see what's up. And yeah, it actually like my parents were like surprised that I wanted to stay up late reading a book because I was so fascinated by it.
Yeah, I was probably it came out in like 97, so I would have been in I would have been in like I would have been 5 when it came out. So I probably didn't like pick it up until I was in second or third grade. Read the first 3 books, dropped it to read Charlie Bone instead. Don't know why. And what's funny is that people are like, "Oh, Charlie Bone's a ripoff of Harry Potter." It's like, "No, no, it isn't. Shut up."
I actually haven't heard of Charlie Bone.
It was a very niche book series from like the early 2000s, and it follows a kid named Charlie who's finds out that he had this is this is why this is very different from Harry Potter. He finds out that he's from a long line of people who could do who have powers, and his
Mm-hmm.
powers is being able to hear voices from photographs or even talk to them depending on if they are alive or not. So it's very different, but I think it's the whole boarding school thing that made people be like, "Oh, it's Harry Potter." It's like, no, he only goes to school during Monday through Friday, unless he decides to do something stupid. Then he has to stay until Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and boarding schools are kind of a thing in like England more so than America.
The way you describe it, it doesn't sound like, they don't sound the same or like,
And the other thing that I think why people are like, "Oh, this is a Harry Potter ripoff," is that they have their own, like, houses, but
Mm-hmm.
instead of houses based on personality, you
Mm-hmm.
either are a musician, an
Mm-hmm.
artist, or a theater dork.
Okay. Huh. Well,
Like
okay. So,
these are kids who are mixed in with normal kids, and
okay.
they have to either be a musician, a artist, or a, actor.
I mean,
I could go on all about this series. This was my favorite series as a kid.
probably do an episode on that. I just have to
Yeah.
read it. And also, according to my Google search, the house system is a traditional thing in like schools, like
Oh,
in
really?
in England. That's interesting. It's
I guess it helps, like, try to get kids to have a social circle, but I don't know. I'm not British.
American schools then is a bit different from the British school system.
No,
Uh,
it's pretty damn different. Most English schools, you wear uniforms, and most American schools, you do not.
so, what is your experience with the series?
Like, I didn't get what you meant by that question, so why don't you start with that?
Basically, I'm just asking what have you watched, or like have you watched the movies? Did you collect all the books? Like basically, what kind of fan were you?
I watched all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I've read most of the books. Like, I've read up to 4,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm rereading it again because it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen, like, all but the most recent Fantastic Beasts movies, and I mean, like, I was in the fandom, so
Let's see. For me, I read all the books. I only collected 5 through 7 though, because when I got into this series, book 4 was already out, and
mm,
so what I did was I just kept borrowing like the books like as they came out, and then by the time I reached the fourth book, like the fifth book I think was still a year out, and like my dad ended up buying me like the rest of the books like the day they came out just so I could read them. And also collected like the spin-offs like Quidditch Through the Ages books, Beetle and Bard, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And I read a lot of fan fiction to, fill the gap between the series. And yeah, that was kind of it in terms of
But
the series.
I forgot to mention I also went to, like, where they, the studio where they were recording the original movies when I
Oh,
was in London.
that's cool. I haven't gotten a chance to do that yet, but I haven't left this country since I was 17, so I don't know. Maybe I should do that in the future because I would
It
love
was
to go.
really cool. I took a lot of pictures. I need to, like, get them from my computer and post them somewhere.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
I don't have any public place I put them. I,
Mm-hmm.
like, posted them on old private accounts, so
Yeah, you can always DM them to me, so
yeah, I can also DM them to you too, yeah.
yeah, or put some on
But
Instagram, but
London was great, and of course, like, my mom was like, "Oh, yeah, the last time I was here, there was a heat wave. We were there during a heat wave as well." It's like, "Mom, you are the common factor in this equation."
okay, let me see. So here's my
Oh, but
question.
yeah,
Hmm?
did you come up with like, an original character when you
Me
were part of the fandom?
uh yes. I'm trying to dig like deep. Like let's see.
Before
Cuz
we go on to the
mainly,
next topic.
mainly or no, it's okay. That's actually a good question. Like I like I'm just trying to remember because that was like so long ago for me.
I
I
have 3.
You have 3? Okay. I know
Yeah,
I had at least 1. And then at like one point I tried to write like a fan fiction too, but I don't know if I even still have my fanfiction.net account because like I think like I don't know, I I made it but or I wrote a couple of things but then kind of like had to delete it cuz this was like back in the day about where internet like the internet was like like not how it is today. And my like, at least my mom freaked out with like everything I did. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if she told me to delete my account and I
Others
lost
were
it.
not as bad, but they were definitely like, "You gotta be careful." That's one of my characters, he's more recent, like,
Mm-hmm.
originally, I had just his sister, then I made a twin for the sister, so
Mm-hmm.
it was like a boy-girl twin combo,
Mm-hmm.
and then, I made them a little brother. The little brother is my favorite right now because he's such a he's okay, so so the basics, because I don't wanna go into it, because then it's gonna take forever, and then maybe I'll do this in a future maybe we'll do this in a future when we'll talk about, like, or OCs we made, but
Mm-hmm.
long story short is that their mom is Gryffindor and their father is Ravenclaw.
Mm-hmm.
So, the sister is the only Gryffindor, but the brothers are Ravenclaw, however, they have very Gryffindor-like qualities to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the youngest brother, his name is Leo,
Mm-hmm.
um 'cause, Gryffindor. Um, and so, so the way you get into the Ravenclaw door is you have to solve a riddle. This
Mm-hmm.
guy is such a smart ass. He'll
Mm-hmm.
go up to the door and they'll be like, "Why is a raven like a rain desk?" And his answer will be something along the lines of, like, "They're both not potatoes."
Mm-hmm.
It's technically correct, but it's not the answer the door wants, and it's not because he's dumb, it's 'cause he's a smart ass.
Oh man,
And, like,
hmm?
you're because of that.
No, I was about to say, dang, now you're making me want to remember what my OC was because I'm like, and also you're super creative. Mine was probably boring as like boring.
Okay, so here's the thing. So their siblings are Pixie Griffin. So the siblings are Pixie Griffin and Leo.
Okay.
They have these names because it pisses off their father's mother. That's
Mhm.
the only reason they were given these names because it
Mhm.
pisses off the mother.
Mhm.
And their last name is Rose.
Mhm.
So as I was, like, developing this character over time, my friend and I had this idea of, like, I don't really want Pixie to be, like, into
Mhm.
Lockhart because I don't see her as someone who would fall for that shallow kind of thing.
Mhm.
And because of Rose, I had the thought, well, what if she's, immune to love potions and love spells like that?
Mhm.
Because it's just a like a not really a curse, but like a power that runs in our family.
Mhm.
And that's how the siblings are immune to
Mhm.
love potions, love spells, and all that.
Mhm.
It's just from the using the name Rose.
Mm. Okay, dang. That's like super creative, man. I would love to know more, but we'll do it. We'll talk about it more like
Yeah.
in another episode.
No, 'cause I really like okay, Pixie's great. Griffin's I still am trying to work out Griffin. I'm not too 100% on his personality because
Mhm.
Pixie's like the sweet girl, Leo's the little troll,
Mhm.
and then Griffin is just kinda there right now, so I still
Mhm.
have to, like, flesh him out. I have, like, ideas,
Mhm.
but I'm not too sure how I wanna implement them, you know what I mean?
I get it. I get what you mean. Okay.
Alright, let's go on to our next topic before I go on more about this.
Oh gosh, no, save it for our OC episode because dang,
Yes,
I would like I will I'm not very creative like or I'm creative in other outlets. Writing was wasn't my strong point. So, creating like the backstories of characters and stuff. So, I'm for me, I would love to talk to you about, how you came up with your OCs and like your process. But yeah, let's move on.
yes.
So
Oh my god, we should definitely do that. I have, like, a bunch I could talk about.
did you read the books or just watch the films or did you do both? Like for me,
I did
what?
go ahead. I was gonna say I just mentioned, like, yeah, I read, like, 3 of the books, 4 of the books,
Okay.
and watched all the movies.
Okay. I was opposite. I read all the books and oh yeah, I also have like the audiobooks too, but that like there's an explanation for that. I read all the books. I did watch the movies, but I only went up to the fourth movie. Because um I didn't like that they changed directors, like after the second movie, which is understandable because the first two movies was done by Chris Columbus, but and I really liked his style, and then like the next two, like yeah, I didn't really like it. I just felt like they cut out a lot,
Well,
but
and it also the books became bigger at that point.
yeah, and I mean, like I understood why they did it, but at the same time, it was just kind of it was for me. It was disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, and after, like, the fourth movie, I didn't give the others a chance. Like, I've heard good things about, like, the last two movies,
Yeah.
but I don't know, maybe in the future, I'll, like, take a look again, give it another chance at least. But, yeah, um,
I watched part 1 of the 7th movie,
mm,
like, on opening night, like, before the
mhm,
happened at the movie theater near in Arvada.
mhm,
So and that was, like, the 2nd time I did a midnight showing, it was amazing,
mhm,
and then it's sad, I think that was the last one, and then I was gonna go to the Batman one, my plans fell through, and then the shooting happened, it's like, "Well, I'm never doing that again."
mm,
It was so fun to see, like, all these people dressed up and
mhm.
just, like, talking about the series, like, that was one of the best fandom moments I've had.
Aw. I never done midnight or no, scratch that. I've done a midnight showing once. And after that, like none of my friends took me to a midnight showing again because the thing is my schedule was even back then my schedule was so different from like most of my friends because a lot
Yeah.
of them can stay up late, but for me because like I always wake up early and have to be out, like and I tend to be at bed early, like I ended up falling asleep. I think it was the Dark Knight that happened. Like, yeah, that's when it happened. Like we got a midnight showing of The Dark Knight, and I don't remember what happened because I fell asleep because it was so late for me.
Like the first Dark Knight movie?
Yeah, the first Dark Knight movie. Like, yeah, like I felt like bad because like all my friends were so excited and like, you know, and they wanted to talk to me about it, but like I feel like fell asleep like like not even halfway through, like a fourth into the movie just because I was so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
hmm?
with your issues with the movie, that's why I was pushing so hard for, like, Luke to agree with me that we needed a Harry Potter TV show.
Yeah, that would have been great. Like honestly, I would love to see.
There's still time. Like,
Mhm.
HBO Max has the court or has the ball in their court, they just need to act on it.
Yeah, but you know how it is. Well, you know how it is. All contracts, all that noise, blah 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 blah, budget, blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah. The boring stuff, the not fun stuff. So, I mean, I'm hoping they do something with it because I really love the series. You know,
yeah, and there was just so much cut from the movies, like, even as someone who didn't read, like,
mm,
5, 6, and 7, I could tell that, like, at least in 5 and 6, there
mm-hmm,
was a lot cut out.
mm. I was gonna ask about what you disliked about them because I clearly made my dislike known.
Yeah,
But
I like the change I did like the change in the directors only because it's like, I do not see these kids wearing their uniforms 24/7.
mhm,
It made more sense during their free time for them to be wearing, like, casual clothes.
mhm,
So I like that approach when the 3rd movie came out.
mhm,
But yeah, the thing is that you could definitely tell, like, from partway through the 3rd movie, I don't even know exactly where. You
mhm,
could definitely tell well, I guess it was maybe the end because it felt, like, so rushed at the very end,
mhm,
but you could tell some things were, like, missing.
mhm.
And then from there on out, you could just tell, like, stuff was just cut to save time.
Yeah, that like I didn't like in general, I don't mind, you know, especially huge series like Harry Potter, where, you know, they change directors. It's understandable because like, no director wants to do like 8 movies, you know, like,
There's
you know,
only
of
10
the,
at the
you know,
time.
like they probably want to like eventually move on and do other stuff, right? So
Yeah,
I understand why they switched directors, but I just didn't like the direction the others went in. Like, not so much the uniforms, just it was just mostly like
I
stuff
know.
that got cut out. Like, you know, that like it kind of like I felt maybe it's just because I knew like the books like backwards and forwards, like, you know, at the time, and
Yeah,
you know, I knew what was missing and felt like there should be more. Like the context of certain stuff was missing. So, yeah, that was my main issue. I didn't care about them, you know, like the third director making, you know, making changes where people are wearing, you know, their casual clothes, you know, outside school, you know, school hours and all that noise. It's just
yeah,
uh like I said, um, because I was more aware of what happens in the books and knowing that like it, stuff had been cut, it just, you know, made me disappointed. So,
mhm.
um, so if you don't mind me asking, what is your favorite book and or movie in the main, like, you know, in the main Harry Potter series? Because I know there's, you know, the Harry Potter musical and Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them series, but I'm just more curious on um
The main series.
yeah.
I like 3 for both the movie and the book because we get introduced to Remus and Sirius, and
Mhm.
those 2 are my favorite characters, and I love them to death, and I'm so sad.
Mhm.
But is it okay to spoil something that's over 10 years old
Yeah,
now?
yeah, go for it.
That they fucking die?
Mhm.
Especially Remus? I'm like, "Remus, you did not deserve this."
I know. I was so sad. I was like,
Also
No.
Yeah, no! Oh, and also in, like, the 3rd movie when, Sirius is officially introduced,
Mhm.
and Snape comes to try to save the kids, and Remus is like, Sirius is like, "Get back to your, chemistry set," and you can see Remus just, like, trying to stop him and just giving up.
Mhm.
In the scene, it just made me laugh so hard every time I watch it. Oh,
Mhm.
and, Sirius being a fucking drama queen. Like, people are like, "Oh, Sirius is great, he's so serious." I'm like, "No, he's a fucking drama queen." Like,
I mean, to be fair, if you've been in jail for a long time and no one believes that you're innocent and all that shit, I would be a drama queen too.
well, he was a drama queen way before that, I
Yeah.
guarantee you,
Yeah, probably.
to be fair. Like, the only thing I never liked about Sirius is that he was the most cruel out of their group,
Mhm.
um, to, like, Snape, and, like,
Mhm.
it felt like he could have been so much better if he would lost his pompous attitude, but whatever.
Yeah, I felt like it. Yeah, but I felt like I guess to me it's like if he changed just a little bit, he wouldn't be serious, you know. uh let's see. For book, let's see. It's really hard for me to say just because it's like I really enjoy all of them and I have my reasons for each one of them. Um but if I really had to pick one, it would be the fourth book just because like it like the first like three books it was kind of like oh it like even though there's like you know death somewhere it in the
It's
book it
it's over 10 years old, we can talk
yeah
about it.
well
We
I
talk
know
about the
but you
poor
know
kid who died.
I know but also at the same time I know my memory like even though I obsessed over this series like I'm not gonna lie the last couple of years I kind of try to dump a lot of like my memory of it mainly the author but that's a different story but so my I know my memory's not like the best so um I tend to keep it vague ish a bit but yeah no like I know like death has throughout like the book or the series has been talked about and like in the first book someone dies, second book you know death is talked about and all that, but I felt like with the fourth book, the Goblet of Fire, it just felt like um it changed the tone. Like I remembered when
Well,
like
I think that was, like, the first time, like, someone on Harry's side died, like, in present day of the story.
yeah like and
When
also
yeah,
if it
'cause
like yeah
Cedric dying was, I think, the first one.
yeah Cedric dies right and it's like and it felt and it just came out of nowhere. I just remember like getting to that part and I just was stunned like and I was just like did I read that correct? And then so I went back to the beginning of the chapter or like the last chapter, read through it again and be like oh my god he died and I just remember crying and it was just like an impact because I was like oh my god like and yeah like and I just felt that changed that changed everything like
That
like
started making it darker.
yeah and also
That's when the series started to get darker.
yeah and also I like the sixth book just because it felt like it more focused on uh his life his life as a teenager and and um and
I am the chosen one. Get smacked.
yeah or yeah like basically for me it's just like for the sixth book I just felt it felt nice after like two books worth of death and like pain that oh well Harry has somewhat of a normal life for a bit.
I do like the 6th one because it gives you, like an idea that Draco is
Yeah.
more of is more than just a bully. He doesn't really agree with what's going on, but he feels like he has to do it.
Right.
And that made me like actually start loving his character because I hated him originally.
Okay.
But when like the sixth book came out and was like, or yeah, the sixth book came out, or I guess I watched the sixth movie.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
it felt more like there was more character to Draco than just a bully.
Yeah. No, I get you. I did. I felt more empathy with uh Draco because I felt like it like he you like like reading it, or for me reading it, it's just like he's doing this for his family,
Yeah,
uh so yeah.
and like the other and going back to like the fourth book, what I liked about that one is that that was the first time I think it was we were introduced to other schools
Right, yeah,
that that taught magic.
right.
And that was like, "Holy shit, is there an American one?"
I'm gonna talk about that later on. In the
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that because I wanna talk I want I wanna say a, meme I saw online,
Oh,
but we'll talk about that more with Fantastic Beasts.
yeah. Do you have a favorite character? uh
Yes.
uh
I love Neville.
mm,
He was he was a sweetheart, he was a dork, and then, like, my friends would tease me, I'm like, "No, he is the best character, shut up." And then he took the sword out of the hat and slayed the fucking snake. I was like,
mhm,
"Boom, told you." Fuck you. Yeah, I was so excited when that happened.
mhm.
Like, I was so excited. It was kind of embarrassing.
Oh, you shouldn't be
I also
embarrassed.
it was no, just me getting so excited about that scene in the movie, like,
Oh.
there's already a movie. Um And then the other 2 I like are the twins, and I
Mhm.
am so sad that Fred is dead.
I know.
And, like, all these freaking headcanons of, like, George calling out the Fred like, continue on a joke, and just makes me cry every time.
Aw. I think I stopped reading like fan fictions of yeah, at that point, I stopped reading fan fictions and all that, and I can imagine like there's a lot of like stories about, you know, Fred and George.
Yeah, because it's sad.
I know. uh oh gosh, for me,
Oh, and then, of course, Remus and Sirius, like I talked about already. Sorry.
yeah. Oh no, you're good. You're good. For me, it's really hard for me to pick really a favorite. I guess it's just because with each character, like reading, each character, and I guess to me it's just like I loved and hate like each of them, like like you know for like reasons, like, and it's just too. But if I do have to like pick one, I want to say at least like in book Hermione, just because
Mhm.
like I felt like with her, like, how can I put it, she's not afraid to be smart, which, around that time, like, at least growing up in my area, like, I was taught a lot that, guys don't like smart girls. So, to me, I was just like, oh, well, Hermione is smart, and, she got like that Quidditch star boyfriend
Oh,
and all that.
oh my god. Fred
And,
was great. He was
yeah,
a great character
I
too.
know. And then, you know, and I felt like, like she unlike the movie, well, I can't really say that because I haven't seen the rest of the movies, but I felt like in the book she was like, more realistic, I guess, like, with her emotions and stuff. And yeah, I guess I just like, I'm not smart, but I feel like I can relate to her at least like a lot. And then the twins. I really, really like the twins because I felt like, they don't take life seriously. And also, they dropped out of school and became successful. So.
Okay, but here's the thing, the problem is that they had help from Harry. He was
I.
like, "Here, take my, Triwizard Tournament money."
Yeah, but still, they could have just, like, probably done what I would have done was, like, I don't know, was that, I don't know, buy candy or whatever, or like not really do much with it. But I really liked the fact that they actually, like, you know like,
They need a
drop.
business in such bleak times.
Yeah, and it felt, and I don't know, I guess also it kind of opened my eyes a bit, like, oh, dropping out, and opening your own business is a thing. Because I just assumed every wizard and witch just went through school and, like, you couldn't really do anything, like, can't do, like, anything in the wizarding world unless you have, like, you graduate Hogwarts and get a job or something, like, or
Yeah,
you get what I mean, like.
yeah,
So yeah, I thought,
or you become a housewife,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah, yeah, um, that too. So no, I just remembered reading about Cho Chang, like, when, I
Fuck
get,
her.
uh, I had a lot of empathy for her. I mean, yeah, I'm glad they didn't end up together, but I really felt for her. So I was just like, oh, okay, like, that was pretty shitty, but, whatever. I get it. Do you have a favorite villain? Uh,
Umbridge, but only because she is way too real.
Wait, which one? I'm sorry, you got cut off for a sec.
Umbridge.
Oh, yeah. Oh gosh. I I wouldn't call
She is
her.
way too
What?
she's way too real. Like,
I
she is way too real of a person.
I know, like, I can't say she's my favorite just because I'm just like, oh god, like, this is, like, I'm pretty sure we know, like, everyone has known someone like that, not, obviously not specifically like her, but has done things, like, similar to her, like
Yeah.
how she acts and stuff. I'm just like, oh god. But let's see. For me, if I had to pick a villain, I like, you know, beside, not the obvious. I want to say Narcissa Malfoy. I know her part wasn't as big, but I feel like I find her more complex, like, character, because she's like,
I feel like she's really a villain at the same time, though, and that's just me. I
I
feel like she is more of a like participant in the
you
and
mean?
that's mostly because, like, she mhm?
Oh, I was gonna say complicit.
No, yeah, she's just an unwilling participant is what I was trying to say.
Okay. I mean,
Because it felt like she
you
went
feel.
along to protect her family, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, I get you. I did consider her a villain at like, until, like, the end. Um, when she betrayed, Voldemort and all that. Like, but for me, I just felt like she's still considered a villain just because, um, obviously she, with the way she thinks about, like, muggles, and, you know, um, placing a high importance of, like, blood purity, and in a way it is a little, she is a little bit selfish because she is doing what's best, for her family, but
That's true, yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of like, like, I get you, like, I would not, I wouldn't want to be in her position, you get what I mean, like, where you're,
Yeah.
you'd have to choose between doing the right thing versus, like, going along with everything, to survive. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, I found her more complex. So she has to be my favorite. So like besides the
And then
obvious.
her sister's fucking insane.
Mhm. So yeah.
Yeah.
um.
Uh,
So did you take the Pottermore and Wizarding World quiz by chance?
I would hope I did. I'm the one who wrote the question.
Okay. Like if you
And you
don't,
took my quiz.
yes, I
Not
did.
my quiz, but the quiz I sent. I didn't make a quiz, I sent her a quiz
Yeah.
that I took way back in the day.
Y- Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, like at least for the Pottermore slash Wizarding World quiz first, like what did you end up in? Like
So the house I was in is Ravenclaw, duh.
same here. Yes.
And, the Patronus one is gonna be interesting. I got Dragonfly, what did you get?
Really? I didn't know there was a dragonfly. What the heck,
I
man?
didn't either.
I got a Dunmare, which
Doesn't matter. Hey, you're right under okay, so I pulled up mugglenet.com,
uh-huh.
which has a full description of what
Uh-huh.
each Patronus is.
Uh-huh.
So that's actually funny that I'm Dragonfly and yours is right under me.
Mhm.
So for Dragonfly, it's illusionary magic. The abilities to create strong, almost hypnotic outer shell for the world. See beneath your own illusion and those of others, and gain strong mental clarity. Are common traits of the Dragonfly. It is also a messenger carrying with it messages from the past, far distance,
Mhm.
um, far distances and the spiritual realm. Dragonflies are representative of what it means to be light, reflective, and full of joy in all sense of the words.
Mhm.
Dragonfly medicine tends to be very emotional and passionate, often accompanying a great revelation of or discovery of self. This Patronus may be tiny, but its spirit is enough to battle any Dementor.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm like, I kind of forgot about BuggleNet. To be honest, I was like, oh, now I'm kind of looking mine up. What the heck does it say about Dunmare?
I have it up. Do you want me to just read it?
Sure, go for it.
Dunmares are known for their unique coloring. They are one of the few horses that are allowed to be registered by their coloring. The Dun gene gives the horse a unique champagne color on top of their normal color. This beautiful and elegant gene mutation gives your Patronus a special glow that will fill your heart with warmth, giving your Patronus extra power to fight Dementors in your path.
Ooh, okay. Like, cause like when I first saw it like on Pottermore, I was kind of like, oh, okay. Like I didn't, I don't know. I guess I
Oh, you
was.
got the spirit stallion,
Hmm?
or well, bear, but
Yeah.
you do you remember Spirit, that horse movie from when we were, like, teenagers or kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that is what the horse is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I was surprised, and I was just kind of like, cause like I heard about I think one of my friends got like an otter, and then like another like friend got like was it like a salamander? So I was like, oh okay, like I don't know. I guess to me, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound cool," but now hearing it, I'm like, "Oh, that sounds actually kind of cool or
It
sweet."
so you me
Hmm.
about that is that, like, I'm sorry it's Ravenclaw, however, my wand and my Patronus basically are more I feel like are more Hufflepuff
Mhm.
related traits, which is funny, and that's excuse me, and
Mhm.
that's why I wanted to see, like, I was curious on if you had the same thing. So yours is kind of this is kind of vague for the Protonus, so
So, do you remember what wand you had?
I got pear wood and unicorn core. So pear wood is like pear trees produce wands of splendid magical powers. Possessions of pear wands were in the experience of the learned wand maker Garrick Ollivander. usually popular and well respected, and he never knew of a single instance where a pair wand had been discovered in possession of a dark witch or wizard. They were also the most resilient. Okay, that's the other like
Mm-hmm.
theme I'm seeing with like all the other stuff I got. It's like I'm light. I'm like pure lights. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Hold on, let me pull
What
up
about
my.
yours?
So, I actually wrote the entire thing down. It's 12 and 1/4 inch larchwood with a unicorn core, and apparently it has a rigid flexibility.
My full one is pear wood unicorn core
Mm-hmm.
10 10 10 and 3/4 length, quite bendy flexibility.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see. So I'm actually on the Harry Potter wiki for this one.
Oh, I had to go there too.
So the wand lore for a larch wood is strong, durable, and warm in color. Larch had long been valued as an attractive and powerful wand wood. Its reputation for instilling courage and confidence in user had ensured that demand always outstripped supply. This much sought after wand was, however, hard to please in the matter of ideal owners and trickier to handle than many imagined. The celebrated wand maker Garrick Ollivander found that Large always created wands of hidden talents and unexpected effects, which likewise described the master who deserved it. It was often the case that the witch or wizard who belonged to the large wand might never realize the full extent of their considerable talents until paired with it, but they but that they would then take or but that they would then make an exceptional match. I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about that, I was just like, man, I want to get a larchwood wand. Like, I know obviously it's not real magic, but that made me feel
Yeah.
good about myself. And I was scouring
Yeah.
Etsy to find it, like someone who would make one, but yeah, I could.
Because it's stubborn, that's what it feels like it's saying. It's basically stubborn.
Yeah. Well, not just, I guess, like, because when I remember taking this quiz, it was around the time I was kind of like unsure about like myself in regards of like, oh, do I have a talent for anything? So when I got that, it felt kind of nice because it's just like, oh, maybe I have some hidden talent or something. I know it sounds silly, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, well, I kind of lived my life a lot where I was just like, oh, well, I don't know. I'm not particularly good at anything. So yeah. um, you mentioned the Wizard More extended sorting hat quiz.
Yeah,
Do you by chance have the results of yours? Because I have mine here.
I have mine. Um, so as per usual, I am Ravenclaw, but I took this quiz is based off one that I took way back in like middle school or high
Mm-hmm.
school. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was in high school, when I took, or no, it was college. When I was in college, I took this quiz. I was literally 1 point off of being a Hufflepuff as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah, I was Ravenclaw, and that's actually very similar to what this is now, but I have more. There's more of a gap between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Ravenclaw is at 47%.
Mm-hmm.
Hufflepuff is 20%.
Uh,
Gryffindor is 17%. Mhm,
what was Hufflepuff again? I'm sorry.
26.
Oh, okay. And then
Gryffindor Gryffindor is 17, and Slytherin is 9.
okay. Let's see. For me, so Gryffindor was 27%. Ravenclaw's 35. Hufflepuff is 27, and Slytherin was 11. I was actually surprised, how much like I fluctuated a bit because at like one point it was like telling me I was a Gryffindor, like as I was taking the quiz.
Oh,
And
you had it up?
well, like yes, because I was a bit curious, like how things are calculated, right? Also, I didn't know you could hide it, right? But like, did you by chance take the one for? Sorry, I like have to pull up. Il for Horny, the school from in America, like
Oh, yes,
yeah,
but I think it was, like, a pug wig or whatever.
okay.
Hang on.
Like
The one that starts with a P.
I took I remembered when it was still up in Pottermore. I ended up in what was it? Thunderbird, I believe. But then like I ended up taking the extended version on Wizardmore.
Mhm.
Um, and like I don't remember the exact percentage, but I do remember I ended up actually in a different house. Like, I ended up in where is it? Pugwudgie?
Yeah, that's the one I had ended up with in Pukwudgie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I Thunderbird was really close, but like, yeah, I wasn't sure like if you remembered the quiz because like the thing was like I just remember one day it being there, and I just kind of assumed like when they transitioned it over, like or transferred everything over to the Wizarding world, that it was gonna go over too. But I don't know why they didn't like bring it over, like that quiz over too, because it would have been great. I liked.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, this actually kind of falls into my next question. What did you think of like the spin-off books and stories? Like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Quidditch Through the Ages, and like like some of the stories like published on Pottermore, like in like J.K. Rowling's like archives. Like, what did you think of them?
I think it was a great way to, build on the school on, the world, I mean, not the school, on the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was very, smart of her to do that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I was so excited when I heard that she was gonna write, she had more to say about it because like obviously we have our own headcanons and we could use our own imaginations and like build the world, but I've always been curious what she had in mind. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for me, since I enjoyed the story, so it's just like, oh yeah, like I really want to know. Like one that really got me was the book Quidditch Throughout the Ages, which like I found it really interesting because she wrote it, but like she said, oh, this author made it. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
And there was new commander for the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah. Well, for Quidditch Throughout the Ages, it's Kenley Worthy Wisp, which yeah, it
That's
and
all a mouthful.
yeah, I know, right? I struggled reading that, but I really liked her like with Quidditch Through the Ages. I liked how she wrote about like the evolution of the broomstick, and
Mhm.
then and like how Quidditch became to be, and it to me I was just like, oh, that's actually really cool. I really really like it, and I was glad she just kept expanding the world. I know some people didn't like some of the stuff she wrote on Twitter,
Mhm.
about the world, but I kind of just ignored those, to be
Wait,
honest.
what other stuff did she say? I'm do I
uh
wanna know? Or would that be just a whole thing?
That'll just be a whole thing. Like, she like basically she made it weird. So I was just like, oh, okay. Like, Like, I don't know if you listen to a podcast called Trash Taste. I could probably link it to the clip where they kind of explain it a bit
Oh,
about her making it weird. I mean, I don't think it's that scary. It's just like, oh, what the fuck, man? Why? Like, it's kind of like one of
was that
those.
like the no pooping thing or
I,
whatever?
I believe that's what they were referring to. I was just like, we didn't need to know that. Okay. Like, yeah, I know people like okay, so yeah, I know people poop and all that noise, but it's kind of like one of those things like, why did you bring it up, you know? Like
Why don't we pretend this never happened?
yeah, right? Yeah, that's kind of like how I do to be honest with like with some of the things
Okay,
that so
that
uh
makes me think of the, how Americans, like, in the movie in the Fantastic Beasts, they call them no magi or whatever,
uh
and someone had posted, I think it was on Twitter, I don't or Tumblr, I don't know which, they said, "At American Horror fans, sorry, you are not allowed to say Mungle anymore, you have to say no magi or you're not a true fan." And then someone posted a clip of, like, Darren Darren Cross? The
mm,
guy from Glee.
mhm
Darren Criss, that is his name. When he was on doing the Harry Potter, musical or the play or whatever, had it showing holding up a medallion and saying, "Well, the medallion said that's dumb, so we're not gonna do that." That
mhm
just makes me think of that. It's like, come on, none of us care, none of us wanna know. We're gonna say what we wanna say
right.
and take in what we wanna take in, really.
I've had I'm not gonna lie, like g- when for Harry Potter, like at one point I turned away from the series, like not just because of the author, but like at one point it started getting bad with some of like the fandom a bit, like not like I never got into Twitter arguments with like people, but like I started getting like Star Wars vibes, like the Star Wars fans that love Star Wars so much they hate it and like complain about everything about it, which I was starting
Oh
to
my
get that
god.
vibe, and I actually stepped away from the series for a while just because I was just like, oh, okay, like
That's not Twitter when it comes to fandom stuff anymore, unless it's to look at art.
I just thought it just, I don't know. For me, I just felt like I said, like, I think it's stupid, if people are like, you're not a real Harry Potter fan if you don't follow, if you're American, you don't follow the slang to the T. I think that's stupid. But I really enjoy the fact that she, like, expand, you know, the,
Yeah, no,
the
I'm not
world.
saying it should be removed, I'm just saying that as,
Yeah.
like like I said, I'm just saying it's stupid that we Americans have to use it. It's like, "No, I'm still gonna use Buggle, you can go fuck off if you want to."
I mean, your OC, you can pretend you're your OC character, or
Yep.
yeah, or I don't know.
Well, let's go on to the next topic because I'm gonna get to that soon.
Oh gosh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Uh,
Did you watch the Fantastic Beasts movies, and what did you think about them?
Honestly, I haven't, but it's mostly. But let me explain. It's mostly due to time. Uh, right. Oh yeah. So the Fantastic Beasts, you've watched them, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
I've seen at least 2 of them.
okay. Um. Well, what did you think of them? Like the ones you've
I
seen.
enjoy it. I enjoy it. It definitely gives a perspective of a big part of the lore that we had an idea about, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know really about, which is like
Mm-hmm.
Dumbledore and what's his face? I swear I've seen these movies. What's his face's relationship?
Gr-
Um, Grimwell.
yeah.
Grimwell. Yes, I see. I knew who I was talking about. It's just like I'm like, meh,
Oh, that's
brain.
okay. That's how I am with a lot of stuff. uh,
Um,
hmm?
so it, like, gives an idea of unfortunately not I've maybe the more recent movie, maybe we have more of an idea of what happened, like, the big mystery is, like, how exactly Dumbledore's sister died is still a big mystery
Mm-hmm.
because we have a general idea, but we don't actually know,
Mm-hmm.
like, 100%, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So, that's, like, one of the things I really wanna know about, but having an idea from, like, when
Mhm.
they're adults and how that relationship was going,
Mhm.
very interesting.
Mhm. Okay. Do you have like a favorite character?
Yes, and it's Newt Scamander because I feel like he is supposed to be what is the best way to describe this? I feel like he's supposed to be coded as autistic.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if you've ever seen any scenes with him,
I
but
mean,
he really mhm,
what? Oh, like in the Harry Potter or in the Fantastic Beasts series, or
yeah,
I've seen clips.
yeah.
So,
Um, and you kind of notice, like, he doesn't really
mhm,
look people in the eye. He's very
mhm,
he has an interest in one topic one topic only,
mhm,
and he's not very good with people.
mm,
Like, he just screams autistic to me.
mm. Okay. I mean, I could see that. Like, I know uh my experience with the series is very limited, just because I'm basing it off of clips. But I could see that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh.
So, like, I would not be surprised if, like, J.K. Rowling came out, it's like, "Yeah, he's actually autistic."
Yeah.
It's not like, if she said that, that's wouldn't be a bad representation of autistic people either. This would actually be a very positive one because it is very he would be considered, like, high functioning autistic someone with high functioning autism. I don't know the spectrum anymore.
Mhm.
I was diagnosed in 2002. The spectrum didn't become a thing until years after I got diagnosed. Um But he would be what I consider, like, high functioning autism. He doesn't really have a great social skills, but then again, he's also growing up at a time where they didn't have good mental health.
Right.
So, no surprise there that
Mhm.
he doesn't get the proper help he needs.
Mhm.
Uh, but he is brilliant. He is a published author. Like, it's very positive in my
Mm.
opinion.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad to hear that, actually.
At least she hasn't done every, like, minority group dirty yet. That's what I'm basically going off of.
I know. I know. So I know this particular subject is a little bit of a hot topic, but
Yeah,
as you know, or if you haven't been keeping up, there's going to be a Hogwarts Legacy game coming out. And if you haven't seen the trailer, I do recommend it.
it looks
Watching,
so good,
I know.
and I
And
hate that I really want this game.
I know that was like the thing I was gonna ask is like, are you gonna get it? Because I'm not gonna.
Yes,
I know. I'm,
not because not because of, like, I am supporting J.K. Rowling, I'm more supporting the people who, like, made this game.
I know. Like, we have to approach it like how I guess people do with the FNAF guy. Or
Yeah,
yeah, because I'm not. Yeah, like at first I said no, I wasn't gonna get it, right? But then I saw the trailer, and then like all the good feelings I had from the series like came
yeah.
back, and I was just like, oh no, I really want to play this, and now I have a computer that can run it. So,
Oh gosh. And so here's the other things with, like, the
uh-huh.
reason why I'm thinking about getting it, it's like
Mm-hmm.
one, J.K. Rowling doesn't have any real creative
Control.
over this,
Mm-hmm.
and if I don't think she's gonna get a lot of financial gain. I think they bought the license to make the game,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the amount of money that she's getting. I
Yeah.
don't know how that exactly works, to be honest, but, you
I
know,
I
they already spent money on getting this license, so before this whole thing happened.
yeah. I mean, like I have a general idea what might have happened, but like that could be a topic for another time, because that's a bit more boring and a bit more like, I don't want to say technical, but it's just like there's more to it. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
I get you. It's just I know, like I s- I say it with hesitation, just because it's just
yeah.
like you know, I know what kind of person, well, she is, at least, her thoughts on, transgender people, and, how not okay it is, for her to have those thoughts. But I really want to play the game so much. It just because it was something, because like, I don't know if you played the any Harry Potter games, like, when
I haven't
you were
played them since
younger.
they were a kid. Well, I played, like, the recent one I played was the Harry Potter Lego game.
Okay.
I'm 'Cause I'm a true gamer.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Lego games. I think they're pretty cool. But I remember playing the original Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone game. I don't know how I ended up with it, but I think my dad bought it for me for like my birthday or something. But yeah, I remember playing that one, and like, I had fun with it. I glitched out a lot, like, on purpose, finding stuff, but I I don't know, it just didn't feel enough. And for this one, I felt like, based off of like the trailer and what I've read, I was just like, oh my god. Yeah.
I forgot about this, but, like, the other issue that I've been seeing is, like, oh, they're saying the goblins are anti-Semitic. Is that really the case, or is this just I don't really understand where they're getting this from.
I I can, like, I know Jon Stewart talks about it in his podcast, and I'll just link it because, like, me, I don't know, like, I'm not
Is Jon
sure.
Stewart even is he Jewish?
Yes, he is.
Okay, because I was gonna say I talked with, like, my very Jewish friend, like,
Uh-huh.
she is from the native country. What is it called?
Mhm.
Fuck. Now I can't remember. God, I am a bad friend. Israel, right?
Mhm.
Okay, yes, okay. I was gonna say Israel, but then I was like, "No, that doesn't sound right." It's like, "Wait a minute, that is right, I think."
Mhm.
Anyway, my very Jewish friend, I asked her about this, she's like, "What is he going on about? What is he on? I wanna be on this too."
Mm,
'Cause she doesn't see what he's talking about.
okay. I mean, I feel like it's, your mileage may vary, but, or something. I'm not 100% sure, because yeah, like, honestly, after like some of the stuff she said, I kind of just stopped following her, and I actually like was just like, no, like, I can't, like, I can't do this right now. She's like ruining my like,
Yeah,
it's like, my nostalgia for this. I always try to separate the art from the artist and stuff, but I don't know, just like, there'll just be times where you just can't at the moment. So
yeah,
I was trying to give myself, that space, because and that's the thing, and it kind of brings up, like, the next question is, like, what you think about the story now and versus when you read it, because, like, for me, like, I have good memories with the series. When I first
mhm,
read it, it got me to read. It made me
yeah,
like it made me think about magic, and like, the wizarding world, and like, fantasy and all that. And
yeah,
for me, I want to hang on to that, like, yeah, obviously, now if I read it now, again, with what I know and stuff, I'm going to be thinking, like, about plot holes, all that noise. But
yeah,
like, for me, it's just like, I still like it. I really enjoy it. And I don't know, sometimes I feel a little guilty, because it's just like, oh, it was written by a woman who has trash opinions on things,
yeah.
So, yeah.
I I've stopped feeling guilty about that only because it's like,
Mhm.
this is my childhood and this stuff wasn't
Mhm.
known when I was a child, so I'm gonna pretend like I am a child still, and this is not happening around me. Um,
Which is
not
fair. Which is fair. Like I just need to give myself and you know what? To me, I think if you can separate it, it's good. Like it's fine because not every person is perfect, but
and this is one of those cases where it's like, you need to separate the art from the person, which is easier to do in this case, versus like, let's say Crytonic controversy. Do you know about that?
yeah, I actually what's funny is I actually looked it up today cuz like
Oh,
someone
really?
mentioned it like somewhere on Reddit and I was just like, why does that name sound familiar? Let me take a look.
That it's different to be able to separate, like, J.K. Rowling from her books versus Cray from his Let's Plays, because
Yeah.
he is more front and center with the Let's Plays versus
Mhm.
J.K. Rowling is not really front and center
Mhm.
other than, like, her name on the front of the book.
I know. I guess it depends. Like for me, I know eventually I can. I like I said I needed to create the separation like
Yeah.
myself. Um and like maybe if you guys are interested in an episode where we specifically talk about like, JK
Oh,
Rowling and just like stuff like this, I could probably like I can explain a bit more why well, in particular why it hits a bit harder for me is like uh I can go on for a while
eh,
about it and I don't want to keep Phoenix from sleep.
'cause I kinda need to go 'cause I kinda need to go to work pretty early tomorrow, which
Yeah,
is
so we'll wrap it up like I said we'll probably uh, if you want to know if you want us to do like a separate episode about like J.K. Rowling and people like her. Like, I don't know what we'll call the episode, but like, just let us know in the
problem
comments. What?
problematic artists versus their creations.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
yeah, I don't know, something like that. We'll figure it out. But yeah, if you all want us to cover that topic, just let us know. Did you want to have any other thoughts about Harry Potter? Like any last things you want
Um
to add?
Oh, well, I guess the only thing I do want to add is that if you are a Harry Potter fan, if you are okay and you're in England or London to be more precise, I highly suggest going to the Warner Brothers lot where they did the Harry Potter movies because they have like this whole exhibit where it has like props, it has some of the sets, it has the costumes. Like it is so cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I would love to go see it. Or like I guess my final thought is if you are in Japan, I believe there's a Harry Potter world in Universal. I recommend going there. I haven't been there, but I've watched people on YouTube go and do like tours and stuff and I love it. Like it looks really cool. Yeah, so I recommend checking it out.
I just saw something. I'll probably send this to you,
Uh-huh.
um, Jenny. It was that Matt Pat had talked about like boycotting. Maybe you saw this when the news of Scott broke out.
Oh yeah, I already watched it, and like I get
Yeah,
it. I get it. It's just like I said in my case, uh, there's more to it, and why,
yeah.
yeah, like
No, I totally get it. I was just like, if people are like, "Oh, I don't want to support it," it's like, well, that could get more complicated than you think.
I know, like, and I recommend linking, and we'll link it below too for people to
Oh,
check it
I'm gonna
out.
find it. Yeah, I'm gonna find it before I go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, in general, human nature and all that noise is all complicated, nuanced, and all that. So yeah,
Hmm.
I won't I won't be upset. Well, obviously, I will not be upset if anyone is just like, "Oh my god," you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, it's just more like a personal thing for me. Anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in. We don't know what our next episode will be, nor will we
Fire
Fire Emblem,
Baby.
maybe.
I if we're able to record in June, I say we do Fire Emblem because like I said, the new game's gonna come out. Or
Mhm.
at least we do the last game. Because if we do all Fire Emblem, we'll be here for a week.
Right? And
So
yeah. Well, okay. So Fire Emblem for sure. But to if you guys want us to suggest other topics, just please comment below. Because like honestly, like there might be topics we haven't thought about. I guess take care and y'all have a great rest of your day or night.
for a week.
Or week.
For a year.
Or whatever. Whatever. Well, hopefully we see you next time. Hopefully it will be soon.
And I don't make it more complicated.
Aw, no worries. Life happens, so and you get it.
Alright, bye.
Bye.